We'll call the court to order at this time. My name is Matt Rothy. I'm the multi-jurisdictional judge for the city of Stoughton, Townsend, Dunkirk, Pleasant Springs, and Rutland. I'd like to go through some of the procedures we follow in our courtroom. These procedures were available to you in the pamphlet as you enter the courtroom. We take people on a first-come, first-served basis. When I call your name, please come forward. Today is initial appearance, and that means it's a plea day. And for pleas, pleas is, you have three choices: guilty, no contest, or not guilty. If you enter a no contest or guilty plea, I'll review your citation. If there's a factual basis, I'll find you guilty and impose an appropriate forfeiture. A plea of no contest is similar to a guilty plea, but a conviction arising from a no contest plea cannot be used against you in a later civil action. Let me give you an example. Say if you're involved in a traffic case and you get cited. If you enter a no contest plea, that person can't use that no contest plea against you if they sue you later for damages. That's a no contest plea. A guilty plea means that you're admitting guilt and that I'll review the police report and its factual basis find you guilty. The forfeiture ranges from $20 to $1,000. However, almost all are within the $50 to $200 range. The state mandates we add costs to your forfeiture. For example, a $50 forfeiture will result in a total fine to you of $124. Basically, we have to pay a fee. So what I will do is I'll give you the range of a citation and then tell you how much that will be. I'll grant you 30 days to pay the forfeiture. If you need additional time, let me know, and we can work out a payment plan. If you don't pay, I have limited options to collect. I can suspend your driver's license for a year. I can send you to the state collection service. I'd rather not do that. If you need additional time, let me know, and we can set up a payment plan. If you enter a not guilty plea, we'll schedule your case over to a next court session for a pretrial conference. That'll be February 7th. I ordered a pretrial conference because then it gives you a chance to meet with the city attorney to see if you can resolve your case. If you can resolve it, the city attorney will tell me about the resolution. I'll approve it. If you can't resolve it, you come back to me for a trial. Any OWIs tonight? Okay. Those of you facing traffic offenses should understand that you lose demerit points upon conviction of most such offenses. If you lose 12 or more points in any 1 year period, you lose your license to drive in Wisconsin for a certain period of time. You'll also be fined. I like you to be aware of some of your rights before entering a plea. You have a right to ask for a continuance. That means you can request your case be set over another time, either to consult with a lawyer or for some other reason. This is civil court. You're not entitled to a public defender, but you may hire an attorney at your own cost. You also have a right to a trial. Please remember your rights while considering your pleas. And that concludes my opening remarks. The first case I have is Justin Houston or Huston?
Houston.
Houston, okay.
Yeah.
You've been cited for non-registration of auto. Do I have your correct address in Miller Drive in Oregon?
Correct.
All right. And you, non-registration of auto carries a forfeiture of $98.80 at $30 plus fine, 0 points. You reach in your pocket. Have you updated your registration?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give that to the bailiff? Take a look at it. Did you update your registration soon after you got pulled over?
The night yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll have the bailiff give you back to that. So the goal on these citations are to have you update your registration. You've done so, and the court's own motion, it will dismiss your citation.
Okay.
We'll give you a receipt saying that it's been dismissed. That way you can keep it for your records.
All right, thank you.
Next person is language lines.
Okay.
Thank you.
And with it, that'll take care of it this evening. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay. Edwin Edgardo Roman Maldonado. Do you want to come forward?
It's Spanish, right? Can you verify Spanish?
Do you need a Spanish, Espanol interpreter?
Yeah, I need.
Okay. We'll dial one up.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. For Spanish, press 1, or please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for...
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Pedro, ID 243621. I'll be your Spanish interpreter today. I am proud to serve you. This call may be monitored for training and quality assurance purposes. Is your client with you, or would you like me to dial them for you?
This is Judge Matt Rothe of the Stoughton, Wisconsin Municipal Court. It's not my client, but there's a defendant. If you could translate for me.
I'm ready, Judge.
Okay, let me give you the oath. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you would truly interpret from the English language to the Spanish language and from the Spanish to the English language a true and accurate interpretation of what is said?
I swear.
All right, thank you. I have before me Edwin Edgardo Roman Maldonado. Do you want to tell him that?
Hola, señor Edwin Ricardo Roman Maldonado. Yo seré su intérprete por esta llamada. Todo lo que usted diga será interpretado y mantenido estrictamente confidencial. I am ready for your instructions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Maldonado, can you understand both me and the interpreter?
Señor Maldonado, ¿puede usted entender al juez y puede entenderme?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay. You were cited for failure to stop at a stop sign.
Usted fue multado por no detenerse en un alto.
Do you understand the nature of the citation against you?
¿Comprende la acusación en su contra?
sí.
Do you need me to review? I'm sorry. I actually know C, but I'll remain patient. Mr. Maldonado, would you like me to read the statute number that you've alleged to have violated?
Señor Maldonado, ¿quiere que le lea a usted el número de estatuto que usted infringió?
El número de... ¿Número de qué?
If Mr. Maldonado said something, I couldn't hear him.
Oh, it is, I've asked you if you could, if you need to have the statute read to you of the alleged violation.
Señor Maldonado, le estoy preguntando a usted si necesita usted que le lea el estatuto de la infracción que cometió usted.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute.
Un momento.
First of all, do I have your correct address on Olson Court in Stoughton?
Su dirección es Olson Court, ¿no son? ¿Es la dirección correcta?
La Olson, ¿qué?
Olson what?
Olson Court.
Yeah.
Olson. Yes.
Okay, so you are at 309 Olson Court, number 309.
¿Usted vive en el 309 de Olson Court, número 309?
Yes. Sí.
Okay. All right,
Yes,
thank you. I am going to, the city has alleged
La ciudad alega
that you violated 70-1 of the ordinances
que usted infringió 70-1 de la orden,
which adopted state statute
Okay.
346.46,
que adopta el estatuto 346.6,
Okay.
which says as follows.
que lee lo siguiente.
Vehicles to stop at stop signs in school crossings.
Vehículos deben de detenerse en el letrero de alto en cruces de escolar,
Except when directed to proceed by a traffic officer
a excepción de cuando se le indique por el oficial de tránsito a continuar,
or traffic control signal,
o señalamientos de control de tránsito.
every operator of a vehicle approaching an official stop sign
Cada operador de vehículo que se acerque a un letrero de alto
at an intersection shall cause such vehicle
a una intersección deberá provocar que el vehículo
to stop before entering the intersection
detenga su marcha antes de cruzar la intersección
and shall yield the right of way
y deberá ceder el paso
to other vehicles which have entered
a otros vehículos que ingresen
or are approaching the intersection
la intersección o que se acerquen.
upon a highway
Cerca de una autopista
which is not controlled by an official stop sign or traffic signal.
que no esté controlada por un señalamiento oficial o sea, sin señalamiento de tránsito.
That concludes my reading of the statute.
Eso finaliza la lectura del estatuto.
Do you understand what this section for failure to stop now means?
Sí, ok.
¿Entiende ahora usted qué significa falta de no detenerse?
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The forfeiture on this is $98.80.
Para cancelar esta multa son $98.90.
Así que pagarlo aquí mismo.
This is a total forfeiture of $98.80. Actually, the forfeiture range on this is as follows. This is a $30 fine plus costs.
El rango para cancelar la multa es conforme a lo siguiente. Es una multa de $30 más costos.
So the forfeiture range is $20 to $40, and you're right in the middle at $30.
Entonces, el rango de cancelación es entre $20 y $40 y está usted justo en medio, $30.
¿Cuánto?
How much?
So you're at $30 plus costs, which is $98.80.
Ok.
Tiene que pagar usted $30 de la multa más costos de corte. En total a pagar son $98.80.
Now I can go down to $20 plus costs, which is a total forfeiture of $86.20.
Pero puedo bajárselo usted a $20 de multa más costos de corte, que significaría que tendría que pagar usted un total de $86.20.
Or I could go up to $40 plus costs, which is a total forfeiture of $111.40.
O puedo subir el coste de su multa a $40 más costos de corte, que indicaría que tendría que pagar usted un total de $111.40.
Okay? I could go up or down or keep it the same depending on how severe this citation is.
Puedo subir o bajar la multa dependiendo la severidad de la multa.
Okay? Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí.
Bien.
All right. This citation carries a penalty of 3 demerit points.
Esta multa conlleva 3 puntos.
You cannot accumulate 12 or more points within 12 months.
En un periodo de 12 meses no puede usted acumular más de 12 puntos.
If you do, your license will be suspended.
Ok.
Si lo hace, suspenderán su licencia.
Ok.
All right. In addition, if you're found guilty of this failure to stop at a stop sign,
Aparte, si es usted hallado culpable de esta sanción de no haberse detenido en un letrero de alto,
the Wisconsin Division of Motor Vehicles
la División de Vehículos Motorizados de Wisconsin
requires you to take a class in order to keep your driver's license.
requiere que usted tome una clase para poder retener su licencia de manejar.
Okay? Do you understand?
Ya.
¿Entiende?
Sí, pero eso es cuándo.
Buenas tardes.
The Motor Vehicle Division will send him a letter requiring him to sign up, usually within a month after he's found guilty of the citation.
La División de Vehículos Motorizados de Wisconsin le va a enviar a usted una carta para avisarle saber cuándo. Comúnmente es después de un mes de haber recibido la sanción.
It's not through the court, it's through the state of Wisconsin.
No es a través de la corte, sino a través del estado de Wisconsin.
Okay? Do you understand?
Ya.
Okay.
¿Entiende?
Sí.
Okay. Do you have any questions regarding this citation?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta con respecto a esta multa?
¿Dónde la pago? Y,
Where do I pay?
Oh, well, I have to have him enter a plea first.
Primero, tiene que hacer usted su declaración.
Okay? He has 3 plea options: guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
Tienes tres formas de declararse. Culpable, no me pongo.
Okay.
If guilty, no contest, and what was the other one? I'm so sorry.
Not guilty.
O no culpable.
Okay.
Ok.
Okay.
Ok, pregunto, ¿y la clase es obligatoria después que pague la multa?
After paying the fine, do I really need to take the class?
Yes.
Sí.
Ok.
So the guilty means that you're admitting your guilt, and if you enter a guilty plea, I'll find you guilty.
Declararse culpable significa que admite usted su culpa y lo declararé culpable.
A no contest plea means that you're not admitting guilt, but you want to end this today, and that you want me to find you, review the report and find you guilty.
No me opongo significa que usted no está admitiendo que es culpable, pero quiere usted acabar con este asunto hoy y finalmente lo voy a declarar culpable.
A not guilty plea means that you wish to contest the citation or talk to the prosecutor about this.
Declararse no culpable significa usted que se opone a la acusación y quiere usted hablar con el fiscal sobre la acusación.
If you enter a not guilty plea, I order that I have to talk to the prosecutor by phone on February 7th.
Si usted se declara no culpable, tendré que hablar por teléfono con el fiscal el 7 de febrero.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
¿Preguntas?
No.
Now is the time I take your plea. Your three plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
A continuación voy a tomar su declaración. Tiene usted tres opciones. Puede declararse culpable, no me opongo o no culpable.
No, o sea, yo lo que quiero es pagar esto y terminar con esto, porque en verdad, o sea, yo no tengo problema con eso. Y es cuanto una clase nada más. So, está bien, yo terminar esto lo más rápido que se pueda.
I just simply want to plead guilty to be done with this. I just want to pay the fine and be over.
Okay. I'm going to enter a guilty plea, and I'm going to review the police report to make sure there's enough evidence for a conviction.
Voy a declararlo usted culpable. Voy a revisar el reporte de policía para verificar que exista suficiente evidencia para ingresar un dictamen.
Please give me a minute to review the police report.
Por favor, denme usted un momento para revisar el reporte de policía.
Okay. No.
Okay. I have reviewed the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea. I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty.
He terminado de revisar el reporte de policía. Encuentro que hay bases suficientes para declararlo usted culpable y lo declaro culpable.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on a sentence?
¿Algo que quiera usted decir antes que termine sentencia?
No.
He kind of said no, so okay. I'll take that as a no. I do find a factual basis for your plea, I do find the forfeiture to be appropriate. I'll order that you pay a forfeiture of $98.80.
Encuentro que existen bases para su declaración de culpa. Ordeno que pague usted $98.80 para anular su multa.
I will give you 30 days to pay.
Le doy 30 días para liquidar.
But if you want to pay tonight, there's a dispatch window downstairs that you can just take the yellow piece of paper that you just received with payment, and they'll accept your payment at the dispatch window.
Sin en cambio, si quiere liquidar usted hoy, puede pasar usted al segundo piso, a la ventanilla de pago, presente usted la hoja amarilla junto con la cantidad que le están pidiendo pagar.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the court?
¿Alguna pregunta para la corte?
¿Qué día tendré que coger la clase?
When do I need to take the class?
You'll get a notice from the Wisconsin Motor Vehicles. Follow the instructions and call them and set up a class.
Debe esperar usted a recibir la carta del Departamento de Vehículos Motorizados de Wisconsin. Sigue usted las instrucciones para apuntarse a la clase.
Ok.
Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
¿Cuántas clases son? ¿Una nada más? ¿Son muchas clases o una sola?
How many classes are there? One,
I
too
don't,
many,
I
or
don't
just
know.
one?
I don't know because that's through the Wisconsin, well, actually, hang on.
Let's see if it's on it. There's some phone numbers, it's not, I don't have it in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, that's just
Could we send him
information.
one in Spanish?
I can see if the
Okay.
DOT has one, but.
We'll inform the DOT that, that you are a Spanish speaker, and we'll have the DOT send you a form in Spanish.
Le enviaremos nosotros al Departamento del Transporte que usted habla español y le enviaremos a usted su aviso en español.
Ok.
Okay. With that, that will take care of it for this evening then. Thank you for coming in.
Eso sería todo por el día de hoy. Gracias por haber venido.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Language Line. We're going to hang up now. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome, Judge. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Richard Bordeaux? How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
Last name is Bjordal.
Bjordo, okay. I should have pronounced the J.
It's a doozy.
All right, let me get that back up.
There we go.
Mr. Bordeaux, you have a correct address in 7th Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
All right, you've been cited for operating while revoked as a forfeiture action. This citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points issued to your driver's license. Do you understand what operating while revoked is?
Yes.
Do you need me to read the statute to you?
No.
Okay. Now, the forfeiture range on this, you're at $50 plus costs, and let me just check. I believe that is the minimum forfeiture, but let me double check. I want to make sure of this. Yep, it's $50 to $200. So you're at the minimum forfeiture range. I could go up to as high as a forfeiture range of $313 if circumstances warranted. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, 3 demerit points. Any other questions for the court?
One question. So let's say I have a guilty plea,
Mhm.
and so would that conviction add 6 months to my revocation period, to your knowledge, or no?
I don't know that. So
Yeah.
do you want some time? How about this? Why don't we enter a not guilty plea?
Yeah.
That allows you to research it and then talk to the
Yeah.
prosecutor about that. So
Yeah.
that's what we'll do.
Okay.
The problem with that is that as far as the revocation period with the DOT, their own DOT has its own rules and regulations, and it depends on their
Yeah,
facts and circumstances.
I've been
so.
reading it,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I think it's up to their discretion, but I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea. So
Yeah.
so we'll enter a not guilty plea. The pretrial conference will be scheduled on February 7th. I'll give you the notice in just a minute. Now, make sure that you call the prosecutor on that day. If you don't, they'll tell me that you didn't. I'll find you default, I'll find you guilty. So just make sure that you make that phone call.
Yes.
Bring whatever facts, talk to the district attorney, whatever facts or documents might help you, and we'll see if you can resolve it. If you
No.
can,
Yeah.
the results get part of me. If you can, we'll come back
No,
to me
I'll-
for a trial.
I'll definitely call, so
So,
thank you.
Okay, that sounds good. Once you receive the documents,
Awesome, 410. Okay,
that will take care of it this evening. Thank you.
thank you.
I think I just blocked it out. I'm sorry, I just deleted the file.
Top there, it says, this PC, click on that, and then you're right there, and then adult.
Thank you. I'll make sure I don't do that again. Thomas Greenebeck? Mr. Greenebeck, do I have your correct address on Washington Road in Edgerton?
Yeah,
You've received a citation for non-registration of auto. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 0 demerit points issued to your license. At $30 plus cost, total forfeiture range is $30 to $40 or $20 to $40, and you're right in the middle. Now, I saw you had a piece of paper as you came up. Did you update your registration?
we did, but that isn't the piece of paper that I've got here. That piece of paper is for me to be here. We didn't bring it with us, we brought the car, so it's in the truck, but we did,
Yeah.
the plate of the truck, yeah.
Okay, he'll run it just to make sure that you're updated then.
Oh, come on now, you can trust me.
You know, I think that, since we got a couple minutes, I think everybody's always told me the truth with this, but I just always feel comfortable in verifying it. Everybody's always told me when they've updated, they have. But just on my other job, I'm an attorney, and then people don't always tell me exactly, they don't always tell me the truth either, so.
My
just wanna
wife
verify
used to
that.
work for your dad, so.
Oh, okay, how long ago? How long ago?
Oh, what, 35?
It was many years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, welcome back.
She
so.
even worked for your grandpa, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful, so.
oh, John, young John,
Yeah,
Jeff,
yeah.
Pope.
Yeah.
I'm a
All right.
bad one.
Thank you. We just verified that your citation, or your registration's been updated. Based upon that, our goal is just to make sure that you're registered, and since you've been registered, the court will dismiss the citation then, so.
Okay.
Court citation's dismissed, we'll give you a receipt of the dismissal in just a minute, and thank you for working for us, then, so.
Appreciate being here.
Now, don't get into trouble in Edgerton, because Jeff is the judge now, too, so.
Yeah, I'm more scared of him than you.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Greenback. Oh, shoot. I do it again. Hang on. No, I pressed the downsize. It will pop right up. At least I remember how to do it. Nicholas Mills. Mr. Mills, do I have your correct address in Olson Court in Stoughton?
Yes, sir.
You've received a citation for operating after revocation or suspension of registration. This citation carries a penalty of $98.80, 0 demerit points issued to your driver's license. That's a $30 fine plus cost. The forfeiture range on this is $20 to $40. Let's see. Do you understand the range of penalties?
I do.
Have you updated your registration?
I have.
Do you have proof of that?
I have the thing that caused it to go bad, which is the ticket that was paid. It was a parking ticket at the hospital because my
Okay.
son had been in the hospital, so.
All right. You wanna run it again?
I paid it that night. I didn't realize it got suspended. I told the officer that, and he said he had to issue the ticket.
Okay. Yeah. It is. I got the plate number for you. Oh, okay, great. We'll run that as well.
No problem.
Same thing with that, so. Jim's here. Why, can I tell?
This is, he's with SGC, but I think he's been marked on file by them, but.
Okay. We verified that you've updated your registration. Our goal is to make sure that registration is updated. Because of that, the court on its own motion will dismiss this citation.
Okay, thank you.
We'll give you a copy of that dismissal for your records. Once you receive that, that'll take care of it for this evening then.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Did you have a copy of that ticket that went back?
Oh. Thank you. Kirsten, maybe? Ms. Maybe, do you have the correct address on Washington Road, Stoughton?
That's correct.
All right. You received a citation for non-registration of auto. Citation carries a penalty of $98.80. That's $30 plus fine plus costs. Forfeiture range is $20 to $40. I will note for the record that she's given me proof that she updated her registration. I received a registration indicating that it is valid through 2/29/24. So you're almost up for registration. Again, I'll find that you updated your registration, fulfilling our goal, and with that, the court will dismiss the citation. We will get a copy of that dismissal in just a minute.
Thank you.
Always helps when I have a number of these in a row so everybody knows the procedures then. And once you receive that copy of that, that will take care of it this evening then. Thank you
Thank
for coming
you.
in.
Thank you.
Jim Anderson? Or James Anderson, excuse me. Good evening, Mr. Anderson.
Hello?
Do you have your correct address on Madison Street here in Stoughton?
No.
What's your correct address?
1509 Moline Street?
Okay, Stoughton?
Yes.
1509.
Yeah, 1509 Moline Street, Stoughton 53589. Okay, Mr. Anderson, you received a citation for operating while suspended. Do you understand what operating while suspended is?
Yes, I had paid a fine and they said, I don't know what the deal.
Do you want me to read the statute to you? Do you have a
No,
good
I got the
understanding?
letter in the mail.
Okay.
And as soon as I got that letter in the mail, I paid the
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, if you pay the fines, a lot of times they suspend your driver's license, and then if you're driving on a suspended driver's license, then that can be,
And then once I had paid it, I got checks back that overpaid it.
okay.
Which was hard for me. I don't understand how that happened, but
All right, so I can't do anything with operating after suspended. What I can do is I can have you enter a not guilty plea. And
not
talk to-
guilty then?
Yeah, not guilty plea, we'll have you talk to the prosecutor, and it'll be on February 7th. With the February 7th date, make sure that you call, we'll give you a pretrial conference notice with the number to call. Make sure that you call that number, because if you don't, the prosecutor will tell me that you didn't call, I'll find you default, and I'll find you guilty, and it'll be 3 points and $124.
Okay.
It's a $50 forfeiture plus cost. Forfeiture range on this is $0 to $200, so you're kind of on the lower end of the scale, but not quite at the minimum. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay, now, we'll print that off and get that to you, but Mr. Anderson, you have a variety of fines in Stoughton Court. You have a total owing of $7,700, $7,771.20. So these are back anywhere between 20, so forfeiture range from
I do not own that
2000
property.
Okay. These are, yeah, they're mainly for the property, but you no longer own that property?
That's correct, sir.
But you still have a lot of fines. Are you working at all? Are you exempt?
Tomorrow will be my 80th birthday.
Okay. So you're receiving Social Security only?
No, I have a retirement from the Postal Service.
Okay. Retirement for the Postal Service would be exempt. Do you have any other income?
My wife has a state of Wisconsin retirement.
Okay.
That's-
Just retirement, Social Security then?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Schedule an indigency hearing? Because I have formal then.
Call, okay. Okay.
So you can have you call that pretrial conference number, but if you might be exempt from collection. So what I could do is I could schedule an indigency hearing to see if you're unable, because you don't own your property anymore, correct?
Correct.
So
I own no property myself, no.
right. You still have that property out on N, or that's been sold as well, right? That's no longer in your
No,
name.
my son owns that now.
Okay, okay. All right, so what we'll do, we'll schedule for a February indigency hearing. Just show up on that day. We'll ask you some financial questions. I want to make sure the prosecutor's here, because if you just have retirement plans and no other monies, then you're exempt from collection. And what we can do is just write this off. So, but I
Okay.
want to make sure that the prosecutor's here and I ask them the questions under oath then.
Yes.
All right, we'll send you that notice then.
Okay.
And with that will take care of it this evening then. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so let's see.
I don't know if he's here for something. Probably it's like parking tickets.
Nicholas Mills. When are the,
It's scheduled for a pretrial. I sent the notice out today. Is that the same?
Mr. Mills? We already entered a not guilty plea. We scheduled that matter for a pretrial conference.
I sent
Tuesday.
a notice today.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, it's in the mail. It's, right now it's scheduled for
I just didn't, I know it's a 5-day thing. I didn't want to get like.
February,
Right.
February 7th at 4 o'clock, but you'll get the notice in the mail. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I can't give legal advice, so talk to the prosecutor and see what happens.
It's just a phone call.
aren't you? This is an easy one. They're like, thank you for the run of those calls. That actually helps. So. And I figured, I don't think I've ever, I think if people come that tells me that they've done it, and they're either going to ask about it or that they've completed it. So I think that was helpful with this. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had anybody lie on that. I was serious about that. So one thing they're very honest about, which is good. Thank you. All right. Early night. NLB, or actually I don't need to do that. Nathan Beck, bond forfeiture. Aaron Becker, default judgments. Jennifer Bingham, bond forfeiture. Tavon Boland is a default judgment. Jerome Bribey, is a bond forfeiture. James Brew is a default judgment. Christopher Berner is a default judgment. Luis Carrillo is a default judgment on both citations. Dwight Cloak is a default judgment. Gregory Ely is a default judgment. Shayna Enox is a default judgment. Stephen Gable is a bond forfeiture. Carlos Gomez Hernandez is a default judgment. Grace Greenwald is a default judgment. Doug Grittenholm is a bond forfeiture. Hang on. Okay, got it. Elias Omar Guitz is a default judgment. Anthony Heride is a default judgment. Marcus Harvey is a bond forfeiture. Tina Jermiason is a default judgment. Rachel Johnson is a default judgment. Brian Klimek is a default judgment on all three citations. Jared Klingbeil is a default judgment. Nathan Coles is a default judgment of both citations. Victoria Korodai is a bond forfeiture. Elizabeth Lathrop is a default judgment. Deborah Lewis is a default judgment. Michael Dominique McCarter is a default judgment. Robert Miles is a default judgment. Carrie Mollencup is a bond forfeiture. Kayla Moreno is a default judgment. Ryan Riley is a default judgment. Omar Robles Manjarez is a default judgment on both citations. Forrest Raymer is a default judgment. Ashley Ross is a bond forfeiture. Dustin Rupp is a default judgment. Deborah Smith is a bond forfeiture. Eric Solberg is a default judgment. Stephen Swenson is a default judgment. Casey Joe Swenson Adams is a default judgment. Michelle Lynn Toby is a default judgment. Dibin Troches Romero is a default judgment on both citations. Vincent Venerable is a default judgment on both citations. Roy Wade is a default judgment. Laurencia Walker is a default judgment. Tyler Wegner is a default judgment. Clifford White is a default judgment. Georgiana White is a default judgment. Scott Yacino is a default judgment on both citations, and that concludes the court. Anything else?
I have one that we should talk in the office.
Okay.
It's about a juvenile.
Okay. With that, that concludes the court session. Thank you, everybody.